Hey, I was asked to do a coin ring. They wanted to see it made, so I decided to do this video. They actually don't know I'm doing this, but I started a little late. Basically all I've done is punch the center out of the coin, and as you can see, unfortunately we are going to lose part of the date. Actually quite a bit of it. I'm not sure how they did that other coin, but I'm pretty sure it was made differently, because there's no way that that date could have been there unless it was located right on the edge here, where this one is lower. Alright, I'm going to pop this coin out real quick. Now you can see we have the center out. So what our detail is going to be, if I can get a good focus here, that'll be the outside of the ring, and this will be the inside of the ring. So it'll make a cool looking ring. As long as we don't have any issues with the metal, which is my only concern right now. So the next step is to heat and anneal the coin, which is heating it up so that the metal is bendable. Let me grab my torch real quick. Sorry, it's been a day since I've done a ring, so my stuff's a little scattered. So I'm going to heat this up till it's about red hot, which in the daytime you won't really notice the color change, but it takes about 15 seconds with a coin this size. Alright, dunk it in the water, and I can handle this coin again. Now we're going to go over to the dies. Let me get something that I can stand this up onto so that you can see better too. Alright, put my punch away here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to be using a die, and we're going to set this coin into the die with the side that's going to be the inside facing down, which in this case will be the wreath and the 10. I want to make it as level as possible on the die so that when we start punching it, it gets a good fold. And we use a cone. This is going to give it the starting effect that we want. I'm using a 6-ton press. This is where we're going to find out if this coin is a good metal or not. Now it's starting to cone, which is what we want. I just want to put this in here a little more level before I proceed. Oops, sorry. If you're not level, it will come out oblong, which you obviously don't want. Sometimes that's the hardest part, actually, is just getting everything to go down properly. Making sure all your stuff is squared away. It's not a good feeling. Alright. I'm going to go to a different die here. has a little different degree slope to it, so we can give it the final effect that you're going for. Alright, it's about as far as I can take it with a cone. So we've got a cone-shaped ring right now, which is definitely not what we want. Get a focus here. There we go. So now I'm going to heat and anneal this again. So I'm going to flip you guys back around to the flame. This is probably the most important part if you ever do rings, is just heat it up a lot before you do any kind of punches, any kind of folds, any kind of bending. If you don't, you'll get a coin that'll basically, it'll just shatter. Like this one here. This is one that was a metal that I was afraid this coin would be, and instantly it just shattered. It's just like a pot metal. It looked like a silver coin when I started, and it definitely isn't. A lot of these China coins are mass produced, so they do just use an inferior metal on some of them. So we are still at this point. So now we're going to actually go to the ring stretcher, which this ring is going to be kind of tough because it's so small. And I'll get rid of this. Set it here. Focus. Alright. So on this step, I want to stretch this out. Your ring size that we're going for is a 7. And we're going to have to go to about a size 9. And the reason for that is because we're going to fold the edges in, giving it that domed look that you wanted. So we're going to go bigger than you need, and then we're going to shrink the edges down to be the size that you need. And if you do any rings, this is a machine that you're going to need. The one I have is about $500. You can get a cheap one like this one here, which is kind of garbage, for about $100. So I've stretched it to where the top is coning out slightly. I'm going to take this back to the heater, the heat and anneal process. I want to make sure that I don't get any kind of rips or anything in this ring. So you've seen that. I'm going to run over there real quick and heat this up and anneal it real quick. Now, because we want to save the inner detail of this coin, so far right now, the only metal on metal contact that we've had is right here on the inside when we were pushing the cone through, and then when I was stretching just on the rim here. But now we're getting to where the ring stretcher will be touching the inside of the coin. So I'm going to take a flip ring case, which is just one of these garbage coin holders, and I roll it up, and that makes the metal on metal contact 0 basically, so there's going to be no wear on the inside of your ring. Right now it's at about a size 4.5. We want to go to about your size 7, and I'll heat and anneal and go to a size 9, and then we'll be just about done with the ring part of it. Now you'll need to adjust the plastic now and then just because it starts to bunch up. anytime you start feeling the metal kind of giving more, you're going to want to stop. You're going to want to heat and anneal again, which is about where I'm getting that. I'm almost to the size 7 that I want. But we're going to stop, heat and anneal, because I do not want to split this. It's the only one I got. So we're getting closer. This is where we are right now. Very close. So most people would send this out as a ring right now, but I have many steps that I go through to finish these up so that it's perfect for the clients. Alright, back to the stretcher. Last time here, I think. May have to bring it back at the very end. But we're going to open this up to about a size 9 right now. I'm at the 7 spot right now. This would fit your ring right now, as is, but it doesn't have the look that we want. Now we're at an 8. Eight and a half. We're at a 9. And this is what we've got right now. So because we're stretching the cut side more, the reeded side is actually thicker. As you can see, it's much thicker than the cut side. Super thin. So a lot of people don't do this next process either, but we'll skip it right now. We'll do it at the end because it's a lot easier, but we're going to actually file this part down, making the ring much more uniform for the client. So I'm going to heat this up and anneal it one more time. Might as well take you over here because we're going to the press after this anyhow. Alright, so this is what we have so far. You can still see a little rim coning, but we're getting close. So let's turn this around. Just dropping coins. Drink a drink of my coffee real quick. Alright, oh, and when I was telling you about the puzzles that I do, this is a 133 piece that I did, and this is the saw I was talking about. So that's how I do my puzzles. I just put them on the vise and I cut them. It's a big 133 piece on a 5-ounce quarter, and there's a 16 piece on a Panda. Alright, back to what we were doing. So now we want to give it that cool domed look. So what I'm going to use is a 25-degree die, I hope. It might be too small to even do that, and actually it is. So we're going to go to the other dies over here at the ring stretcher, and we're going to use those. When I get to something this small, I have to use these dies down here, which are attached to the ring stretcher, which is good if you're looking to make smaller rings, because then you don't need most of these bigger dies. your biggest problem will be just getting the center punch, which is the biggest problem with making coin rings, is getting that center punch perfect. So if you can figure that out, you should be okay. So because I want to protect the coin still, I'm going to take some nylon tape and I'm going to wrap it so that there still is no metal on metal contact. Then I'm going to place it reeded side down, which is the bigger side, into a die where it's going to force it. It's going to make it do that cone look that we're going for here. Make sure you're centered. This ring stretcher is a dual purpose, the handle anyways. When you pull it, it pushes a rod in and out where it's bigger on this side, or bigger on this side and shorter on this side, to where the rod opens, it stretches. Where also when you pull the handle, it raises up and down this push rod. So what that's going to do is it's going to push it into a cone, or push it into a shape that's smaller now. So we're at a size 9, we want a size 7. I'm going to take it slow, I don't want to go too fast. But that's already pushed the sides in. I'm going to check our size here real quick. We're at a size 8.5. We really want to push these edges in so that it gives it that dome look. So I'm going to go all the way to this one here, which is and you can see how that, you can see how the copper is starting to show through there, how that pushed it down. Now that side is almost a 7, but that's going to be the edge that gets filed down just a little bit. So I'm going to go one more push down on that side. We're going to turn it around and do the same to the other side. Alright, so that's giving us the look that we want. You can't tell with the tape on there, but it is. Now I'm going to go to one size up because the flared out side tends to be a little bit bigger. Actually, I think we are in the same hole. Alright, so as you can see, it pushed that tape down, which pushed those edges in. Let's check our size here. We are at a size 7 right now, which is great. Let's take the tape off and see if we've got the shape that we want anyways. And unfortunately, I'm not going to get any more cone shape than we got. This is, dome shaped. Let me actually go heat this up and anneal it again and push this side down again because it's a lot bigger than the other side. If we were going for a larger size ring, it would be easy to do that. Well, I think it'll work actually. It should be fine once I push this other side in. Wrap it again real quick in this nylon tape. I apologize for the camera glare. Alright, we're wrapped in nylon tape again. I'm going to take the larger side and push it down probably in this cone here. One or two good pushes and that'll give it that dome ring look, which is great. Awesome. check the size here again, make sure we're not, and we're still good. I'm gonna actually, let's take a look at this guy. I'm gonna go one more time down. All right, let's unveil it, see where we're at. All right, got that dome look going, but it looks like if I go one more time down on the reeded side, we'll have a great dome, because this side's just a little more dome than this side. I'm going to try to level that out real quick, so I'm just going to wrap this real quick again. I don't want any metal on metal contact. We'll lose the detail of the coin. I'm going to go reeded side down, just another probably half push or so. That should be good. Yeah, definitely. That's got the shape we want. Alright. So we got the shape we want. Now I'm hoping this is about a size 6.5 or 6 right now, so that I can file that edge. 6.5. Perfect. So I'm going to take a deburring tool. What this does, let me move you back a little, is it will take the take a little bit of the edge off. And this is the bigger side because it didn't get stretched too much, so it's going to make it a better fit, a better look. Alright, and you can see basically took that edge down a little bit. So now what I'm going to do to make that nice and soft is I'll take a Dremel tool and put a sanding wheel onto it, a nice soft sanding wheel. I'm going to do like a 220 grit. I'm just going to hit the edge of that real quick. This is a step that a lot of people skip, a lot of people don't do. A lot of people just send you a weird ring that, you know, you will find stuff on Etsy and whatnot, super cheap, and you'll just be like, how is that so cheap? Well, when you get it, you know why. I take a lot of steps that a lot of people don't do to ensure the best quality ring that you can get. Alright, so now we have a ring. Now it's just the finishing process. So you can see that edge I took down. Let me get a focus here. You can see the edge I took down because of the shine. Now let's make this whole thing shine. But we've got the look. We should have a size 7 here. Look at that. Perfect size 7. Let me move some of this away. I'm going to put some gloves on real quick because now I don't want to handle the coin, because your fingers will give any kind of metal, for the most part, a fingerprint. The oils from your finger will change the color. It'll just chemical reactions and whatnot. Alright, take some steel wool. Got lots over here. Get a nice chunky piece for the inside. I'm going to actually hit this, take some 1500 and 2000 grit sandpaper over here and take the cut edge and just hit the bottom of it so that it gets a nice soft feel to it. I use good tools so that there's really no need to do this because my cuts are really fine as it is, but this just really helps. So that gives that cut edge a nice soft feel. So I'm going to hit the inside of this with some steel wool. Alright, now that shined up the inside of the coin. Now let's hit the outside here. See what we got to work with here. This may end up being one of my favorite rings now. This one turned out really cool. Wow. Very neat. Let's get a good focus on this guy. Look how cool that turned out. You can see the wreath on the inside. That's very cool looking. Let's go ahead and, you know, that's where the date was before. This is definitely a different coin because you can see the 1 and the 0. That other coin had it on the edge. So now I'm going to put this on pause, do an antiquing process to this, and come back with the final product. Alright guys, this is the final product here. Very, very awesome ring. Let's look at the inside. Basically just the wreath all the way through. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for checking it out.